What's going on, guys? Welcome to the latest edition of Kamerons Keys, where we talk about the major keys to help you excel in your life and in your career. All right, and in this week's edition, we are talking specifically about how to get your dream career. How to get your dream career. All right, so a lot of you have, that dream job. Everybody's looking for that dream job that really not only satisfies you financially, but satisfies you personally. Because it's more than just making a whole lot of money. It's also doing a job that is also purposeful. That's why I like to say career, dream career instead of dream job. So in your dream career, you're not only making a lot of money, but you're also doing work that satisfies you, work that you look forward to showing up and actually doing. So, and it's not like saying a career that you never get tired of, or you never have bad days. That's an anomaly. You're gonna have bad days in your career sometime, but majority of the time, are you looking forward to showing up? Are you looking forward to working with the people that you work with, serving the population that you serve? Do you find purpose in doing it? Like, do you love what you do? That is what this is about when we talk about a dream career. But wherever it is, whether you want to be, educator, real estate, accountant, doctor, psychologist, counselor, corporate work, like whatever it is that you want to do, how do we do that? So the first thing that I want you to do is to do what I like to call R and R. So this first R stands for research, and the second R stands for review. All right, so when I say research, specifically, I want you to study up on the particular path that you're going for. So not only do I want you to get on Dr. Google, I want you to research, what it is that position particularly, what it all does, and what's the requirements for doing it. The next thing I want you to do is to try your best to shadow that particular person in that particular field. I don't know if y'all had a class in junior high or high school where you have to take a day off of school and you got to shadow a particular job and see what it is they do. For me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you, I just shadowed my mom, who was a speech pathologist, and I just was with her for the day and saw what she did, and she was working with the kids that she was working with, and I had to, write a little write-up about it, what she did, how important it is, stuff like that. That's what I did. But now that you are a professional in seeking your dream career, I need you to take this seriously, and I need you to shadow somebody that is that particular career that you think you're interested in. So if you can, if it's not like a position where they work with confidential clients and you cannot literally be with them step for step, I want you to try to be in a situation where you can see what a day in the life of that particular career looks like. If you can shadow for longer than a day, see what you can do about that, and try to just see what it is that person does in that role day to day. You're really immersing yourself in it and seeing what it is that they actually do. Now, the next thing, of course, is review. After you've done this, after you've seen the requirements, after you've seen the college requirements, the certification requirements, whatever requirements that is required for you to do so, I want you to review and see, can I do this? Am I willing to do this? Also, that's why also shadowing these people is important, because they can tell you stuff about the career that they won't tell you in the classroom. They can tell you what it took them to be successful in the career path. So, and they can tell you that, hey, this is exactly what I thought it was. Hey, this isn't what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be more of this, but it's actually this. And they don't teach you this in school, and da-da-da-da-da. You got to look back and you got to review and see if this is really the dream career that you really want to do. And if it's not, that's okay. Just find something else. Do this process do this particular step as many times as it needs to, till you find the dream career that you're wanting to do for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, however long you're trying to work, however many years. That's what I want you to do. All right, the next one is I want you to determine the level of sacrifice. Don't judge my spelling, y'all. But whatever role you're looking to get into, whether you are going into real estate and you're going to take real estate classes, or if you're going to become a personal trainer, or if you're going to go back and get your master's, or you're going to get your PhD, or if you're going to go for the police academy, if you're going to enlist in the army, if you're going to do anything different than what you're currently doing, I promise you it's going to cost a level of commitment and sacrifice. So you have to determine if you're willing to give that level of sacrifice. So no matter what it is, it's going to require a level of course, time, energy. Probably, more than likely, it's going to require some money. It's going to require a level so that you can pay for the certification, you can pay for the classes, you can take time, you might have to sacrifice time off of work to go to class, to go to the specific thing. You have to sacrifice sleep, that goes back to energy. But you also may have to travel. So if you're in the military, you got to go to basic. If you want to be a marine biologist, but you live in Kansas, in the middle of nowhere, you have to move. You'll have to relocate. So are you willing to give this level of sacrifice to make your dream career a reality, to make it your real job? So, and a lot of people don't really look at that before they just jump into it, right? Some people you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then they sign up and then they get in it and they're like, whoa, I didn't know it was gonna require all this. Some people don't know, that if you really wanna be all in and you wanna do well in it, you might have to sacrifice your social life. You might have to sacrifice your family life. It will take a hit when you start to move in a position where you're trying to grow, where you're trying to get yourself in a position. You got to plant that seed and you got to use that fertilizer to help it grow. That fertilizer is that sacrifice. That is the thing that's going to allow you to focus and niche down so that you can get the most out of that particular area. For example, you do not want to be in a situation where you're taking classes for your thing, whether you're, barbering, whether you're a massage therapist, whether you being a PTA, or you're even doing your PhD. You don't want to be in the middle of doing stuff. And then it comes down to the board, or it comes down to that test that it's going to take. That's your last step. And you can't pass it because you are not focused. You can't pass it because you cannot sacrifice the time, the effort, the energy to recap, to learn everything that you need to learn so that you can pass it the first time. You're not taking it 3, 4, 5 times. That's why every level that you are going to in your dream career, it's going to require a level of sacrifice. To have something that you have never had before, you must be willing to do something that you've never done. That is what the sacrifice is about. All right, so once you've done the research and review, once you've determined the level of sacrifice, the third thing I want you to do is identify the first 5 steps. Just the first 5. Why the first 5 steps? Because in my experience of work with clients, when you give them 10, 15, 20 steps, they start to get a little overwhelmed. And when people get overwhelmed, they have what I like to call paralysis by analysis, where they start overthinking and underperforming. So instead of taking action or doing the first whatever steps, they end up doing nothing because they're too busy worried about step 20 through 12. What? Like 12 through 20, excuse me. But I want you to identify what the first 5 steps in your process is. So if you are looking to go to college, obviously your first step is not registering for classes. It's first coming up with the money to pay for the classes. So if you're in high school, that means taking the ACT so that you can position yourself in a better place to get more money. If you're out of high school, then that means that you need to either save money for classes, or you got to take out some student loans, or you need to get a sponsor or figure out some type of scholarships or grants or whatever financial aid that you can get your hands on to pay for the classes. So that's determining. So even before that, that's picking a university and seeing how much their tuition is for the level of classes that you need. You see what I'm saying? So first things first, just determine the first 5 steps. And along the way, these other steps, the 6 through 10, the 11 through 15, the 16 through 20, along the way, you're gonna learn of more steps, but I want you to block it out in just 5 steps so that this way you can remain focused, and that way you won't get overwhelmed of the entire process at once. So just focus on the first 5 steps. So if you're going to school, if you're going to get certified, if you're going to enlist, if you're going to serve, if you're going to do anything outside of what you're currently doing, I want you to get a sheet of paper or get a notepad, and I want you to write down the first 5 steps that you need to do to start making that direction to make those things happen, okay? All right, so after we've done that, this is the key. This is when we're really gonna start to take action. I need you to put a deadline on it. Put a deadline on these first 5 steps. Why? Because we get comfortable and we get distracted. Yeah, me too. Even me too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I get distracted by different things that are going on in my life. You know, I have to go over here and I forget about what's going on over here. But if you give yourself a deadline to complete these steps, that holds you accountable to getting these things done. And that means that I'm really serious about making the commitment. And along with that deadline, I want you to also find some accountability, because we have a tendency to, if we say it to ourselves and say, I'm gonna do, let's say, for example, I'm gonna work out 3 times a week today. And I say that just to myself. Okay, if I don't work out 3 times a week, who's gonna know that I originally said that I was gonna work out 3 times a week? Nobody. But when I tell my wife, when I tell my friends, hey, I'm gonna make a commitment to work out 3 times a week this week, okay? They're gonna be asking me come Wednesday, hey, how many times have you worked out this week? And when I say 1, it's like they gotta look at me and say, okay, well, I guess you're working out every day for the rest of the week. Bruh, really? So when you get that level of accountability, somebody who can get in your face and get on your behind and say, hey, you said that you want to be this, your dream career, insert dream career here. You said that you want to be this, yet I don't see you taking the steps to do it. Where are we going with this? So like I said, once we have identified the first 5 steps, we need to put a deadline on taking action on them. Now, I don't want to place too much emphasis and say, if you don't meet about deadline, you're a failure, but you have to put pressure on yourself. That's the only way that you'll get out of yourself, because you can be comfortable. It's real easy to get comfortable. So to come out of that comfortability, you got to put some force behind it, put some outside influence on it so that you can go ahead and attack it, so that you can go ahead and start making progress. So for example, for those of y'all who have graduated college, but you want to get back in school, guess what that means? That means you got to find recommendations. That means you might have to take the GRE. That means you have to fill out your application fee. Those things have deadlines, but if you don't put deadlines on yourself, you're not going to meet any of those deadlines, and then you're going to delay it for another semester. You're going to delay it for a whole nother year. You're going to delay it for another 5 years. You have to put the deadline on these steps so that you can get these done and start making your way to your dream career. And all you need to do, refresh, reset. As you keep going, get those 5 out. All right, what's the next 5 steps? Get those 5 out. What's the next 5 steps? Rinse and repeat, and keep doing it over and over again. That is the key to being on your way to make your dream career a true reality. All right. Hey guys, if you're listening to this and you're saying, wow, this is great information, but I need something a little more customized, I need something a little more tailored to me, I want you to click the links below and I want you to schedule a one-on-one conversation with me so that we can customize and tailor these tips, these keys, so that you can be well on your way to making your dream career a reality. All right. So appreciate y'all for tuning in to the latest edition of Kamerons Keys, where we help you excel in your life and career. Until next time, I'll see you next week.